Hi guys. Okay, so I just wanted to make a little video about Wendy Baldwin. So she is like everywhere, right? Um, so let's just get right into this. So Wendy Baldwin, um, her last name was Schmitz before she married Robert Allen Baldwin. Um, Schmitz. Now, I have not been able to connect to see if she is somehow related in some way to Teresa's first appointment of the day, Steve Schmitz, but that's interesting. Anyway, so sometime prior to the November 5th search warrant, Wendy obtained information from Singular Cellular Telephone Company, M&I Bank, and Chase Bank Financial, and received information that there has been no activity on Teresa's cell phone, bank accounts, credit card since October 31st, 2005. That is page 21, the last paragraph of the search warrant file. Then, here we got November 4th. Wendy is referred to as the new chick. She accompanied Poggle and Wiegert on the 2.5-hour flyover that was in Curtis Drum's trial transcript. So this is what I'm wondering. I don't know why she was referred to as the new chick, but she is in an awful lot of stuff. And what's she doing in a flyover with the sheriff and one of the main investigators in this case? What is she doing there with them on a flyover? Interesting, huh? So then she starts signing search warrants. Like November 5th, she signs the initial search warrant of the property. November 6th is when she says that she found blood in numerous vehicles on the Avery property, and the blood-stained rag. This is all on page 61 of the same report. Again, this comes from DK Sale. He says that she falsely claimed that it came from a vehicle next to the RAV4, saying that the cadaver dog Brutus hit on it. The rag is never mentioned in the dog handler's testimony, day 5, page 18 of her testimony. I don't know where the rag came from. It doesn't really say where this rag came from. And then again, this incident is mentioned on November 7th in the DOJ DCI arrest report. All right, and then November 9th, Kratz signs a warrant where Stephen Avery was arrested by Wiegert and Fassbender on the charges of felon in possession of a firearm, of a weapon. Deputy Jennifer Bass, that's Wendy's effigy pal, burning pal. Jennifer Bass is the one who transferred Stephen Avery to Calumet County Jail. That is on page 19 of Wisconsin DOJ report. Then, January 27th, Wendy Baldwin re-interviews M.A., Stephen's niece. Why was she re-interviewing her? Probably because the first time they interviewed her, they didn't find any wrongdoing there, and I think they were trying to get her to say, and I think this might have been the point where she did say, yeah, something happened that shouldn't have happened, because up to then she had not said that. But I think this is where she says, yeah, you know, whatever. Then on February 15th, Wiegert and Wendy Baldwin, they re-interviewed Jody. Again, why are they re-interviewing all these people? What are they trying to do? To me, this is what it looks like. They tried to get MA to talk. They got a little bit from her. They go over and they try to get Jody to talk and say some more stuff. I don't know what Jody ended up saying. But there's a report of that somewhere. And then on February 20th, so 5 days later, is when Wiegert and Wendy Baldwin went to interview Kayla. And this is where she talks about Brendan losing weight and crying and seeing bones in the fire and all this stuff. So this is where, after this, just a few days later, it was when they started to really bother Brendan and interview him in the schools and stuff. And then on March 1st, famous day of Brendan's confession video, Wendy signs another search warrant for Stephen Avery's trailer. Then on March 3rd, she signs the document stating that she searched Stephen Avery's trailer and gathered numerous items. And this is possibly when the video that you see in Making a Murder is where she's reading Stephen Avery's letter from the Innocence Project about the dinner, saying that he won't be able to make it, being a smart-ass little bitch, and saying that they need to take his shoes to see if they would match any unsolved burglaries. Then sometime in August, she divorces her husband, Robert Baldwin, and now she's a Schmitz again. And then 2007, during the trial, Wendy Baldwin and Jennifer Bass, they were potential witnesses for Kratz, but they weren't called for some reason. Interesting. A lot of people were on that list that weren't called, I noticed. And then September 30th, 2009 was when Wendy and Jennifer Bass are involved in this effigy burning. Jennifer retires and Wendy is demoted to dispatcher. And then sometime in 2011, Wendy is found guilty of restricting or obstructing an officer. Brown County case number 2011 CM001708. I have not looked at this. I don't know what it's about, but there it is. Guilty of restricting or obstructing an officer. And then May 2nd, 2012, the March 2006 warrant is talked about in Avery's appeal. Where he's claiming that the warrant was invalid. Wendy Baldwin is named repeatedly having withheld vital material information, whatever that means. Then October 29th, 2012, Wendy is named in Avery's complaint warrant for seizing and searching his Grand Am. So, there's been talk about, we know that Stephen Avery was bleeding in his Grand Am. There was blood in his car. There's been talk about the possibility that bloody rag maybe he used to wrap up his finger was left in that car and was obtained through that illegal search. And, who knows what they did with that. Like I said before, I have my theories about anyone, I don't care if it's the killer or the cops, whoever, not necessarily using the vial of blood, that there's also other ways that you can get blood to drip, is getting a bloody rag or something that he had his finger wrapped with and wetting it a little bit and squeezing it and dripping it out, or smearing it on something. Also, one thing that was in the newest documents that were released is that Jennifer Bass, who is, Wendy's little buddy there, she was the only one that was left alone with the RAV4 after it was covered with tarps by several officers. There's like 6 or 7 involved in putting the tarps over. She was left there alone. Wendy Bass was. Or, I'm sorry, Jennifer Bass. And I just find that interesting because Wendy Baldwin, Jennifer Bass, this this incident that they had, where they dressed up like a dummy or whatever with a uniform, a sheriff's office uniform, and burned it, and had like Sheriff Poggle's name on it and some other names on it. I don't remember what they were, but I mean, it just sounds like they're mad about something. And of course, they were, I don't know what they were mad about, but they seemed to be pretty upset about something. And I'm really curious about what that was. I think there's more to this, Wendy Baldwin being everywhere and Jennifer Bass being in some pretty convenient places. The two of them being buddies outside of work, apparently, burning crosses and things together, or burning dummies together. I just think it's interesting. Like I said, I don't like to blame people for things, but these are all facts coming from documents. I'm not making these things up. I'm just asking the question. She is everywhere, and if she was called the new chick, why was she everywhere? There's just something not right about this whole thing, and I wonder if she's going to be involved in something once Zellner starts naming names and pointing out who did what. We'll see, I guess. I just think it's one of those interesting things that makes you go, what is going on here? So, anyway, I also find it curious that bloody rag wasn't mentioned. If she supposedly found this bloody rag, was it tested for blood? Was it Stephen Avery's blood? Why wasn't it brought up in court? Maybe it didn't belong to Stephen Avery. Maybe the blood didn't belong to Stephen Avery. I don't remember hearing about a bloody rag being tested for, DNA or whatever. So, who knows? Who knows? So many questions. Anyway, so just a little quick video about some of the strangeness that I see, little patterns. I did get a lot of this off of a timeline on Reddit. I can't, not credit these people. Whitevorpal is where I got this. Really good information. All of the documents are linked. I'm just going to link this Reddit post in the description below, because everything you need, all these things are documented to this whole timeline right here on this post, and it is perfect. That's why I had to make a video about it. This is a great timeline, a great post, just to give you some information about Miss Baldwin. Anyway, so Clue TV, get signed up early, $3. Come check us out. We're still adding stuff all the time, cool stuff. I think there's going to be a teaser. I am not sure when, in the next day or two, I hope, about a little investigation that John's been working on in his little crew. And it sounds really cool. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited to see that too. Anyway, come check us out on Clue TV. I'll link that below too. Thanks for watching.